Welcome to episode 19 of the Mainly Golf Show. We're here on the eve of the Open Championship. Marv, Open or Masters? Which one?
Masters.
Masters. I think most people say Masters, but it's Masters Open, 1-1A, and then the US Open and the PGA. It's at Royal Troon. Hep, you're not going there this year, right?
No, not this year.
Survived the elements last year, and apparently it was fucking freezing, pardon my French. And yeah, I dodged a bullet there. Matters how esque. The weather's supposed to be a little bit crispy at the weekend. We'll see what the winds are like in Ayrshire. But Marvel, we'll probably start with last week. Big Bob, you tipped him up, I think, 2 weeks ago. Um, we mentioned in running our group chat yesterday, Adam Scott was the leading by two. Still didn't fancy Adam Scott to get the job done. God love Scotty. I think he's a few days away from turning 44. Like he's happy just to get another paycheck and he'll get another couple of years out of it. But just if Bob McIntyre is still underrated, winner on the DP World Tour, winner on the PGA, winner of an hour, his signature Rolex Series event, and a Ryder Cup winning participant. I think he's still only at 27. Is he still not getting the kudos he's probably deserves?
Probably.
Because he's a fat lad, fat Scottish lad, right?
No,
If he was a skinny, good-looking American guy, he'd be get fucking so good.
yeah, I just think
I look at Sorry, Bob.
I can't weigh him up. Like whether it's just a certain courses that
His skills can't either.
Like he just looks. I did not expect that at all. The 63 in the round in the third round puts him into contention, and the way he finished.
I mean, he did kind of run good, right? The eagle at was it 16, the par five. I mean, you and I have been playing bagatelle for many, many years. You dream of that kind of bounce where it rolls up next to 32.
Yeah, I suppose the one thing you could say is that looking down the leaderboard, as well as Bob played, who else is there challenging him? As you say, you've got an Adam Scott, borderline journeyman these days.
He won a major, 13 years ago?
An unknown French, whoever he is.
I think you'll find I fancied Roman Lagasse a lot 2 weeks on the DP World Tour, and I think he made like a 7 at a par 4, and that was game over.
And maybe I don't know what's a bigger surprise, the way Bob finished or the way Aberg finished. Oberg, should I say?
Yeah, he was in control, right? He was 17 under, 2 clear of the back nine, and just didn't really find anything. He's a very good ball striker, but his short game comes under pressure, as we kind of saw at the Masters, right? And in those conditions, if you're missing fairways and you're not able to balance the rough and you're not able to have a short game or a scrambling, I'm sure Hep's got the stats for the Open, previous winners. You can't scramble around links golf courses. You curtains, aren't you? Because when everyone's there making up ground and they're kind of coming up without any pressure, you're in front and you suddenly make bogeys. It's 2-shot swings everywhere.
Yeah, I think if what surprised me most really is that maybe not that Bob won, but Bob won at 18 under par. I wouldn't ever put Bob into a bit of a shootout style, low scoring tournament. That's not where Bob's. It's not going to suit him, but he won it. No, I think a newfound level of respect for Bob McIntyre, to be honest.
So like 2 wins in 6 weeks or something like that. Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's since he apparently had a bit of a wobble, right? He was struggling in America, home. His old man came over, carried for him. He wins the next week. Yeah. They go back home to Scotland, have a big knees up down there in the local clubhouse. Probably doesn't good, right? Go and just get away from it all. It's like me. It's nice to come back home sometimes. You just see the old face and then, right, okay, let's get back to work now. And in a weird sense, if you think as well, this time last year, it was probably the worst feeling of his career, how he thinks he's won the tournament, right? Rory's got a birdie 17, 18. 18's tough. It's like 480 yards. And Rory came, to be fair, Rory came in like, I'm really sorry. Congrats, you played really well. It's just one of those things. To have that level of redemption 12 months later, you don't really. I mean, what do you reckon, Matt? Do you I think you kind of get the opportunity. It's whether you take like Southgate, for example, right? It was this weekend was 28 years since he missed the penalty at Euro 96.
Mm.
You'd argue even with like the Euros 3 years ago, right? He had the chance to get that
Yeah.
redemption. Hasn't taken it.
He dropped the bollock again, and let's be honest. It's I think as you say, the one thing I would say is, did you say that McElroy went and congratulated Bob for finishing second last year?
He went and found him and commiserated
Oh
him.
well, yeah. I suppose that's it. If you've won the tournament, you better go and find the second place. If you finish second, just fuck off quick.
He didn't address that either, which I thought was very strange. You see, his first press conference since Piners last week. Um, I think all the Ryder Cup players had like a jolly up, right? They went to Wimbledon. I don't think they went to Wimbledon, but I think the Lowrys and the Donalds and a few others, they had a bit of a piss up, and the wife was there. So maybe they're all playing happy families again, Marv.
No, I didn't see his press conference though.
All right, well, he just said,
ignored it.
just didn't mention he said, yeah, it was a tough one to take, but I reminded myself how good I am and what I've achieved, and I'm ready to go again. Not like probably should have gone and congratulated Bryson, great champion. Great to see what he did in the aftermath, but you know, congratulations to him, and I look forward to playing around this week. Just very strange. Like, if you could gauge the mood of the audience or the golf like golf circles, right? People weren't happy the way Rory handled that. But you imagine, and this is where he goes a bit different, right? In his circle and his bubble, he's probably got everyone telling him how great he is. So I don't need to say sorry.
No, what am I apologising for?
What did you make of Rory last week? We didn't really slag him off. Just so we didn't fancy him. Another top five, Hemp. That run keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, I was away last week, so I didn't see any of it. So I was amazed Bob did it, and like what a put on 18 to do it as well, like incredible. But yeah, Rory looks like he had he started well on the Thursday. It was very consistent. He didn't have his blow up round that he normally costs him, but yeah, consistent top five, but never really shot that really low round. And just back to Oberg as well, I think 2 people shot over par in the top 33 on that final round, and to shoot a +3 when everyone else is shooting like +3, +4, -3, -4 is like the average. Like he's done it a few times now. A couple of, like as you mentioned, the Masters sticks out where he's been in contention and he just doesn't have it on the Sunday, or he bottles it a bit. But
I mean, you say bottle it. Do you think it's just immaturity? Is it just his temperament? I mean, he's still only 24. He's only been on tour about a year.
It's hard to say. Like without watching it, it's probably hard to say. But maybe is. Yeah, I don't really know what went wrong for him on the Sunday. If his ball strike, if
he missed fairways. He started missing fairways, and then he started. He's having to get through. I don't think he was used to that kind of rough, right? So a lot of his second shots were running through, and then suddenly like you're chasing to make par, and that's how pressure builds, isn't it? It's just you're suddenly rather than in the second, third round where you're suddenly going around playing 6 under, quite easy golf. When you've got people coming from out the pack, what Bob shot 8 under, I think the final round, say 8 or 9 under, something ridiculous. You start to look across, you see the leaderboard, you hear the roars, you see people like moving up. It's a different game, which is why they're on the DP World Tour, which I allude to a lot. And Marv, I don't think you ever watch it. The level of bottle jobs or the level of like people crippling under the pressure is incredible, because people just can't handle either what it means for the career wise or financially. The idea of founding this tournament, 400,000 euros, when you're kind of not necessarily a journeyman, but on tour and making an all right living. Fucking hell, this sets us up for a year, 2 years exemption. We might get into these bigger tournaments. And then you start thinking about it, and then suddenly you made a bogey, and now I'm tied third. Another bogey, tied 6.
A lot of thinking time in golf. We stood up those shots. Like
it's just golf is probably the one spot where you can go from in the lead to like tied 6th or 7th in about 5-10 minutes without really doing anything that much wrong. You know, what about a par 3, you're in the drink, okay, drop, miss your 10 foot for bogey, make double, and suddenly, you're 3 shots off the lead. It's
stressful enough betting on it. That's why we love to bet on it. It's just every single shot matters. If you're shouting against somebody who's coming to take your money off, you're cheering for your own player. Every single shot could go horribly wrong at any given point.
it's why it's the best sport to bet on. And we'll hopefully prove that this week. The 152nd Open Championship, I think, at Royal Troon, last won here by, I think, was it Stenson, when him and Mickelson put on that absolute clinic. I remember being sat in the hotel bar in Blackpool, and they were kind of rushing me, like, Jack, we really need to go. Like this, it's like I think the day of the match play final, and I'm just sat in the bar on my own watching Stenson and Mickelson basically. I think their better ball was something like 58. It was absurd, that final round. I don't think we'll see anything go that low. I think Stenson finished on 16 under that day. That's like Stenson shot 20 under. It was absolutely phenomenal golf. Yeah, but I mean, this week it's the market's headed by Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, the reigning Masters champion. But Marv, I think I alluded to last week, I think it's something like 20 out of the last 21 winners, or 20 out of the last 22 winners have all at least played the Scottish Open the week before. Doesn't necessarily mean they've played spectacularly, but they've arrived early, they've got acclimatized, and they've got familiar with links golf. Would that put you off Scotty Scheffler around the 11-2 mark this week?
Not if I was. You see, we've we've asked this question pretty much all season.
Good.
We've tried to find an angle to go against Scotty, haven't we? We started off the first couple of tournaments, it's Scotty, but we thought, well, we have to put someone up for the pod. And then we tried to find an angle to go against Scotty, and he's just run all over us. At the price, I don't think, if I'm honest, I don't think Scotty's got the greatest Open record, so
I don't think his style of play suits.
I would be
golf.
against. Yeah, for me, I would be against him. And I do agree, though, an incredible statistic that you found from the Scottish show. I think I might have to rethink one of my picks for this week, because I don't think he played last week.
I mean, it put you off someone like Bryson as well, wouldn't it? Because
I could go horrendously wrong for Bryson this week. That's what. Yeah, I want someone who's a bit more neat and tidy.
Scotty's played the Open Championship 3 times. He finished tied 8th in 2021, tied 21st 2022, and tied 2023, tied T23 12 months ago. Apart from he's tied 41st finish at Pinehurst. Those 2 last Open results are his worst results in major golf.
And he definitely backdoored that T23 or whatever last year, because I remember he was like one of the first out on the.
You are watching him.
He was so early that we caught a few of his holes near the end, but yeah, we didn't get there in time to see his front nine. He was out that early with Brooks, I think, as his partner.
I can't remember who I was reading. I was reading a feature on someone when they were talking about the way the kids are taught in college golf now, and they were saying the way you do, the way to win on the PGA Tour, hit it long, have a fade, have a draw, and I think it was something, hit it long and get it to stop quick. And links golf is the opposite of that.
Hit it hard,
you don't necessarily have to hit it long. You've got to use the terrains, and you've got to maybe use the slopes. So a lot of the Americans who come over here, they get, and to be fair, right, you don't blame them, because the amount of money on offer on the PGA Tour, apart from 8 rounds of golf over here, why do you need to learn how to do that, right? Which is why you see like Lowry and someone like a Brian Harman and Cameron Smith, who's more of I use them like fiddly type players, right? Mickelson in 2012. The Americans don't have that style of play because it's not their bread and butter. What do you reckon, Marv? Do you reckon?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah,
so
yeah, that's it. Excuse me. PGA Tour course is perfect, absolutely set up for hit it as far as you can, hit it as high as you can, land it soft, stop it. A links that's just not. You have to keep your ball under the wind. You don't have to, you don't have to be wild. It's very much more of a controlled, kind of a bit more of a creative. You can't just go pin seeking all the time.
Create's a good word.
I think again, some Americans, are just they're not one dimensional. They can do it all. But yeah, I'd only be throwing in Americans that they're not flashy. I don't think you want a flashy golfer at all. Someone very steady, someone that's, you know, not gonna stand out on a PGA Tour, traditional PGA Tour course. But I have gone with two Americans, so not flashy, absolutely not flashy.
But it is a slightly bigger price for Scotty than we've seen recently. It's one out there. It's sixes, but I don't know how legit they are. But fives, 11 to twos.
Yeah, six is AK bets. That's Anthony Kaminska's ex-Paddy Power traders. To be fair, they do lay a good bet, but the fifth of the odds first five. So you might as well just play bet if you're gonna go and play win only. Mentioned Rory McIlroy. He's the second favorite, 15 to 2, pretty much across. And then you've got Ludwig, Aberg, whatever, 14 to 1. Xander 14, Bryson 16s, Colin Morikawa, the 2021 champion. And then, I mean, we all slagged off Tommy Fleetwood last week. He ended up playing quite well. He's a sea of blown odds checker. He's now into 20, more or less 20 to 1. Is Tommy Fleetwood going to win a Claret Jug Royal Troon?
I think he's going to be up there. I think he's going to be in the top 10 and maybe like late Saturday right up there. But he's not going to win. The fans just wanted to win too much, and I think they just.
Do you think it's like the casual? Do you think it's like the casual fan backing him out of kind of hope rather than expectation? Right? People like Whittam. I'll have a 10 reach way and Tommy Fleetwood. Seems a nice guy,
Yeah, very.
Always does it in the Ryder Cup. He's due.
Has been playing well, but I don't know, you just can't see him, especially at 20s. If he's at like 50s, if you're like, fine, I'll take a gamble on it. But at 22s or 20s, it's not for me.
We were talking off air about how some of these golfers are so angry and they've got so much money in the back pocket, right? And this is into a bad shot. Speaking of angry, Tyrrell Hatton's attracted a lot of support. He's into 20s, 25s. And John Ram has never been bigger for an Open Championship. He's 25 to 1. Would you be tempted with Mr. Ram?
I was just going to cut you off there because you said John Ram has never been bigger. Well, I agree with that. The way that he's clearly spending his live money.
He tries to he's those drive-through runs.
Yeah. I honestly don't give any value or any weight towards the quality on the Live Tour at the moment because we've seen Bryson just seems to rock up and just enjoy himself, and then when it comes to majors, takes it serious.
Exhibition, isn't it?
So whether for me, John Ram's form is not. So no, I couldn't have him at all. To be honest, I'd probably put him up as one of the big names that could even miss the cut.
Oh,
it's very tempting though, just on name value. Is he Ram out to 25s? I think.
Ram 12 months ago was more or less, I think, 7 to 1. I think he was. I don't think he might have been even joint favorite with Scotty. Scotty wasn't really dominating golf at that point, was it? Because he never won past April, so he'd won the Masters. No, he didn't win the Masters.
The debate was Rahm or Scotty for best player in the world, and they were seen as on the same tier.
Yeah, it was more or less Rahm, Scotty, and Rory all kind of like the three.
Rory a little bit of a step back, but
is that just because he's playing where he is?
Just doesn't seem to have settled to this live thing, does he? He just
John Rahm is 3 to 1 with Bet365 to miss the cut. Not a bad price.
Who knows? Who knows how 100% Ram is? I know he missed the cut of the PGA and obviously didn't play the US Open, did he? But
Scotty Scheffler 9-1 to miss the cut. I'll be tempted.
the fact that
Patrick Cantley 12-5. Again, just hope he spends the weekend in a fucking hotel room being miserable because it's pissing down.
the fact that Ram hasn't won, I know it's not quite relevant to miss the cut, but he hasn't won since the Masters, has he, in 23? And I don't know his live results. I couldn't care about his live results. Wikipedia doesn't list them, so Wikipedia doesn't care. So the Marv doesn't care.
Do you think it's a bit strange how, with Ram, for example, I don't say it's just, he went there. He was the big marquee signing, right? He was there with the, whatever they call it, not the bomber jacket, whatever.
It's something like that.
And then he joined and went, yeah, we really should be playing like 4 days. And went, no, that's great. Just take your money, shut up. Yeah, but we really should be playing like a different format. I'm not sure about these shotgun starts. Yeah, just take your money, shut the fuck up. Ah, okay. So do you think he regrets joining Live Golf?
Look, and you can't, if you put aside the business argument, you can't blame for doing it because he was potentially the last. I know Hatton was slightly after him, wasn't he? But he was the last big signing, money wise, to get it. If anybody, if he didn't take it, somebody else maybe would have, and that money wouldn't have been on the table anymore.
And I think he's of the understanding, right? The tours will eventually merge anyway. So
it was like a now or never. So it's just, again, I just don't like his attitude at times, John Ram.
But, shouting at the drones and the music and all this, like, he obviously cares. Like, he's definitely not chilled out and just, I've taken the money and fuck it, and yeah, we could change a few things, but
not in my swing.
Yeah, but so he obviously cares about it. He obviously wants to be playing good golf and contending in the majors and being in form. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say if he regrets it.
Sure. But the thing with Ram is, the comparison between Ram and Bryson is so night and day. Right? It's almost like you knew what you're signing up for. There's 3 years. It's a bit of a piss take. It's an exhibition style. You go out there, have fun with the crowd, play music. 54 hole shotgun start, team stuff. Okay, just take it for what it is. The big tournaments are the big tournaments. Play the Open, play the Masters, whatever. And Bryson's kind of embraced that, right? Done a lot of built up a YouTube channel, built up his socials, produced a lot of content in his free time. Ram just turns up, doesn't really understand what live golf is, and almost like resents the format.
Yeah, and I think I throw Brooks into the sort of Bryson category that they just got on with it. They've kept their head down. They've not done anything negative. Come out and started trashing this and trashing that. Whereas others like Ram and other players, and that's it.
You mean Sergio?
No one has a bad word to say about Bryson and Brooks and those likes. So I'm sure they'll be welcome back. But others that have actually gone out there to, and just he said just thought the opportunity's there, fine, I'm going to take it, but don't kill the hand that used to feed you, or whatever they call it.
Couple of former winners. Sorry, Marv. I've seen a couple of former winners being tipped up in the week. Shane Lowry about 33-1, winner at Portrush, I want to say in 2019.
Winner of the Zurich Classic this year. Don't remember that. Don't forget that.
Fucking marquee event. Sparks Rory's season. And Cameron Smith, well, that's about 45. You can get 45-1 in 8 places. I know Cam Smith will be off your radar being an Aussie live golfer, but would you give either of them to a nibble or a sniff?
No, Larry's not been playing well enough for me, and neither's Smith either. I mean, Smith, he just seemed to be on the as much as you were saying that Rahm wasn't just taking the money and enjoying the exhibition of live. Cam Smith does. He just seems to be chilling out. I don't know how much he practices. If he's like the old Brooks of, I just practice during the tournaments. I don't need to practice.
Use live as practice.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm not touching touching either of those two. And going back to Bobby McIntyre, I mean, you're saying if he's overrated. Like Paddy's that have got about 18-1. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And then I think 365 go over 30s and Sky bet 22.
Wow.
Like, I know they're just capitalizing on people, Scottish people, probably just going, "Oh, Bobby back won. Let's bet him again on the Open." And so I get why the prices are that low, but those are ridiculous.
Just looking at Betfair are 12 places, aren't they? I know that's only the odds checker.
Yeah.
Advertised. Saying that, they don't have a price for Rory yet.
Oh, they don't. Has Twig left us? It's on mute. But yeah, no, Lowry's not for me. There's so many people down here at these low odds that you feel like, obviously, 2 or 3 of them are going to be in contention, but picking which one at these sort of mid-20s prices.
You see what is he? That's it. Right about the similar price of McIntyre. Hep is Hovland. Now, I'm just trying to think. Where did he played in the Scottish, didn't he? You see, he finished 46th at 7 under, quite a ways back. 67, 69, 68, 69. Never really went low. I do wonder if the PGA this year was it just a one-off? I know we thought he was turning his game around, but not really kicked on, has it?
It hasn't. No, like you say, did tease us with 1 or 2 really good results, but
you said he was back.
Well, yeah, I do like to jump on one result and just extrapolate it out. But yeah, got back with his swing coach, did he? And he came third in the PGA, and then a couple of top 20s. But I mean, I'd be backing him over McIntyre at the same prices.
Yeah, I think that if you fancy Bob McIntyre, the value's gone now. Speaking of value, go on then. Give us your headline tip for the viewers. We've teased them enough now. They've been listening for 15, 20 minutes. Just get to the tips.
So I'm going back to Tuglov Aaron Rai. His past 3 results have been a T4, a T7, and the T2. Before that, he had a T14 and a T19. He just played really, really consistently good golf. You can get him at 66s, 10 places at Paddy's, or that's the best price in the market for a lot of places. So yeah, first pick back to Aaron Rai, who did cash his top 5 last week, but on a bit of a dead heat split.
You got the place money here. It goes on the mainly golf spreadsheet.
Got my 10 points back.
Marv, your main pick this week. I think it's tricky. I think it's really, really tricky. I think a lot of people will ask you, right? Oh, you like golf? Who's going to win the Open? Don't know. Find them some value. Just play Scotty, right?
I've not really gone down the course conditions or that kind of route. I've kind of had a look and just the Americans. The American seems to be dominating majors at the moment. I think they've won 8 out of the last 9.
Good
so
start.
I'm going with 2 Americans, and obviously with Brian Harman being out of the recent major winners, the surprise. I do think there's a chance that we could get another unexpected winner. And I kind of go back to 2003, 2004. I think Ben Curtis won the Open at Royal St George in 2003. I think it was his first ever start in a major. And then the year after, Todd Hamilton, another unknown American. I think he'd only won once on the PGA Tour that year, and he knocked off Ernie Els in a playoff. So I am kind of, it's coincidence, it's nothing more. Deciding to go with a few slightly unknown Americans that have not really won anything. So my first pick is Cameron Young. He's top price. He is about 60-1 with Bet365 places. Generally, 45s, 50s. So you could chop around depending on the places. But that's my first pick, Cameron Young. He's never won a golf tournament on the PGA Tour, but this could be the first one.
Just on Cameron Young, did you see him 2 weeks ago in is it the 3M Open? Some one of the shooter ones, and he was like, I think he went off favorite for it, and should have won. He's I think one off the lead with it on the back nine. He ended up playing the back nine 3-4 over. The fact he hasn't won a tournament yet with that
The Rocket Mortgage. Yeah, just
the
having a look
Rocket
now.
the Quicken Loans Payday UK Classic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it. I am purely banking on the bit of a trend, and I do feel that historically, the Open throws up the more unexpected, okay, 20 years ago, but in the last sort of 10 years, if you look at all major winners, um, I do feel the Open is the one. The Open is the one that if you get maybe the right tea time, morning or afternoon, the conditions, so it's kind of blind faith, to be honest. Really.
It's not a bad price.
You'd say with Cam Young as well, he's a fast starter. I mean, if you look through when Todd Hamilton won, right, even into entering the third round, I think he was on 8 under, Ernie Els 7 under, and then the pair of maybe after 3 rounds, it's really hard to make up ground in the weekend of an Open
Yeah.
Championship. So
You see, just to throw in there, he did in 2022, as we kind of talked about earlier, he somehow finished second, in between Cam Smith and McIlroy, and he did back it up last year with a tied 8th. And if you look at his last 11 majors since the start of 2022, he's got 5 top 10s. Yes, there's a few missed cuts in there. So I do think the price is arguably on the short side at round 50s. 66ers higher than yeah, great, but I am going to stick with him. I think it's a reasonable price. It's nothing. It's not standing out on me like crazy, but it's enough. Definitely don't take anything lower than 50s.
I've gone for the value. I'm keeping it very straightforward. I think the 3 golfers I put up, the 3 golfers I put up last week, I'm going in again.
Double the stakes.
Did I put up Wyndham Clark? I'm not sure. I know I thought he was a good bet, but Wyndham Clark played really well. He was 80s. Is that right, Hep? He was 80s the weekend.
It was
Despite finishing with a late rattle, which is, I think it's mainly because a lot of people back domestically, right, don't know he's still 60 to 1. 8th place. It's too big. He played really well. He had a bit of a scratchy opening couple of rounds. He just made a lot of bogeys. He seemed to put that right, and once he kind of got rid of the bogeys out of his game, he obviously flipped the leaderboard finish. I think was it tied 10th, tied 12th in the end. US Open from champion from last year. He did it under immense pressure against Rory. And again, has played well against in defeat against Scotty this year. So he's got the pedigree. He's 30 years old now, married. They said the nappy factor. I don't know what his missus expecting, but he seems to have a settled balance, and he played the Scottish Open, which is always a big plus. So I'll get my 3 tips out straight away. 3 points each way. Wyndham Clark at 60 to 1. Has Tom Dietrich pulled out? Heck, just Google Tom Dietrich. I suppose if I put a point each way, apparently he doesn't play.
Odds checker's not looking good, is it? For
look, I'm not backed him yet. So we're not putting him up yet. So it could be 2 points trousered in the satchel immediately. Tom Dietrich. No, there's nothing. Maybe he spelled his name wrong. All right, we'll leave him alone. Apparently he's not playing. Because someone's shouted at the Open on Twitter saying that no Garcia and no Dietrich disappointing.
Has Garcia taken his place?
No, someone's annoyed that Sergio's
is he not? Sergio's not ordered them to. You better put me in this tournament. How dare you? I am Sergio Garcia.
How dare you? All right, we'll go 2 points each way on the second string. Is Victor Perez even playing? Jesus Christ.
Perez is there. It's like 120.
250 to 1 with
Have you done any research for this week, Twig?
Not a lot. 2 points each way. Victor Perez played really well. He didn't hold a putt in that third round. He missed 4 straight putts inside 10 feet. I think 3 for birdie, 1 for par on a really good run on the front 9. It kind of just took the wind out of his sails. But played really well this week. Another top 20. Frenchman, good in links like golf. This could be the one that makes the pod go viral. 2 points each way, Victor Perez at 250 to 1. We'll bet 365.
And I'll jump in with my last one. I'm going across to live at a past winner in
Dirty
Louis
live.
Dirty
Louis
bastard.
Dehusen.
Louis not winning the Open.
Louis playing well, man. Louis playing well. 90 to 1 Paddy Power, 10 places. Has been cut down from 110s down to 60s on Betfair. So there's money.
Beat the price.
Betfair 5. So there's money coming in, but Paddies are still hanging in 90 with 10 places. Yeah,
So you just arbing it then, basically.
He's he got T4 last week.
Rude.
And has been playing quite well. So yeah, past champion, Mr. Oosterhuizen.
So if you want to keep your Paddy Power account, don't bet on Louise Townsend, else you'll you get an email from next day, I think.
Your account has been restricted, sir. Fairest decision. Marv, your final pick?
Yeah, again, I've gone with an unknown to the general public American in Davis Thompson. He did win his first PGA Tour event a couple of weeks ago in the John Deere Classic.
Guys as well, one on DraftKings as well that week.
So yeah, again, another slightly unknown. He's actually never played in the Open Championship. I don't think he played in the Scottish Open, or did he? I think he actually did play the Scottish Open at a very average finish.
He made the cut. In the right direction.
So again, just trying to throw something and hope it sticks. To be honest,
he did T46 last week.
Yeah, he's roughly hundreds, so basically hundreds or 90 to 1. So Davis Thompson is my second pick.
Well, there you go then. I don't think one of us has picked anything inside 40 to 1, so that bodes well. Hep, just refresh your picks for us, then we'll clip this up at the end, use it on socials at the end, please.
Mr. Two Gloves Aaron Wright at 66s and Louis Oosterhuizen at 90s, 2.5 points each way on both.
2.5 on each. I'm going 3 points each way. Wyndham Clark at 60 to 1, 2 points each way. Victor Perez at 250 to 1, both 8 places. Marv, wrap us up, please.
Yeah, Cameron Young, you can generally get 60 to 1, 8 places. I'll go 3 points each way on him, and Davis Thompson, 100s, 2 points each way.
I'm quietly confident from those 30-point stake. I don't think we're necessarily going to win. I think we'll get a run for your money. At least you get maybe 1, if not 2 places.
I think, I'll be honest. I think Hep is being shrewd because it wouldn't surprise me at all if Louis sneaks into a place. He's just that type of golfer around links course. So see what you're doing there, Hep. See what you're doing.
Confident of 2 top 10s.
Yeah, just going for the place money out your head. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Smarter than the average player. Right, we'll see how we get on next week. I've been Twig, he's been Hep, and he's been Marv. And me and the Sticky Bandits will be back next week to review the Open Championship where Scotty Scheffler has won a 3rd major title. See you all next week. Ta-ra.
Bye, guys.